You know, this is an ongoing issue for Election Day. All these folks who've been ripped from their homes and now temperatures are ripping cold. Tens of thousands of New Yorkers still seeking shelter. More than 1 million Northeast residents still without power. All as FEMA's slow response is coming under a lot more fire now, especially in the hard-hit borough of New York and Staten Island. To Republican Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, who says it doesn't have to be this way. Now, we reached out to FEMA and said that it is opening a third relief center on Staten Island today. It's doing the best it can. Senator, your point is it's certainly not deserving of a lot more federal money, which a lot of your colleagues are looking for.
Well, you know, I've just been saying we don't borrow it. We shouldn't borrow money to fund FEMA. And in fact, we should find money where we spend it unwisely. I think sending money to countries who hate us and burn our flag is not a good use of money. Maybe some of that money could come home. But then even beyond that, I think most disaster programs would be better handled at the local level. I have a great deal of respect for the churches, the Salvation Army, the firefighters, the policemen. But, you know, I'm still waiting for those trailers to get to New Orleans. Those trailers sat in Arkansas for 3 or 4 years. We had warehouses full of ice for years. They finally had to hire contractors to melt the ice, you know, and dispose of the ice. It was a hazard after 2 or 3 years of holding on to this ice. So the federal government just doesn't do anything very well. So I'd rather see most of these programs be more local or state-oriented or private.
But you hear critics of that position come out, Senator, and say something this big, this sweeping, affecting 1 out of 4 Americans, on and on I could go. You need something of the government heft to get literally the troops on the ground, the resources there. I think where your point is very well taken is they haven't done that. And we were prematurely patting them on the back. That is many in the media saying they were, when in fact, putting up a good show doesn't mean you're actually getting something done in that show.
And the thing is, I'm not really arguing for no government involvement. I'm just arguing that maybe the government at the local level does a better job than the government at the federal level, and also that we shouldn't insult or discount churches, the Salvation Army, Red Cross. We had 2 devastating tornadoes last year in our state, and I know that the local churches fed thousands of first responders, thousands of volunteers. They put up people in shelter. And really, there's a lot that private charity does in our country that it isn't always the government that is the answer. Now, I'm not saying there's no government responsibility. I'm just saying the federal government historically hasn't done a very good job. We have people waiting years for money from FEMA after disasters because it's so much red tape and so burdensome, and they just don't do a very good job.
Right, and money isn't always the answer. Something we're going to be raising with the senator's debt tonight. Thank you, Senator. Ron Paul, by